What's going on, guys? It's Mike Gastin. It's been a while. It's been a long, long while. 251 days to be precise since my last upload to YouTube. And what I'm doing here, this is going to be an informal video. I'm just going to chat a little bit. But the reason I'm doing this video is I'm trying to break the spell. I'm trying to break the spell. I'm putting a video out there to break the spell. And you're like, what spell are you talking about? The dry spell, not any magic or curse. I'm trying to break the dry spell. And my thinking is that every day that goes by that I don't make a video, it becomes that much harder to actually create one. And I found myself in a bit of a rut where I have been wanting to make content, but I've been not creating content, as you can tell. And so I thought, you know what, rather than get kind of hung up on like, what's my next video going to be? And should I do a video essay? And should I attack, totalitarianism? Or maybe I should talk about strategy and just all this kind of stuff. It's like, you know what, let's take all the pressure off and let's just put a video out there. The content can just be personal. It can be informal, and people like it or they hate it. It doesn't matter. You lose subscribers. It doesn't matter. It's better than doing nothing. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm just putting a video out. And today what I'm going to talk about is this year that I've had. I'm just going to share a little bit of an update. I don't presume anybody really cares, but it's a way for me just to open up a little bit, take the pressure off, share some things for those that are interested. And I also want to talk a little bit about what my vision is for this channel and my content going forward. I don't have any, just so you're aware, this isn't like to get you to stay for the whole video. I don't have any like big announcements to make, but just share a little bit of like, where am I at right now? What kind of content do I want to create, and where's this all going from an informal perspective? So I appreciate it. If you'd like to stick around, great. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe. If you're like, Mike, I forgot all about you, and now that I see your face, I don't know that I want to be in this, unsubscribe. I don't care, but I hope you stick around. We're going to be doing some cool things with the channel, I think, going forward. So yeah, 2023. I mean, we've had a heck of a year, my wife and I, a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but it's probably been one of the most remarkable years of my married life. And I'm so grateful to be married through this year, everything that we've had to face. It's just been, it's been great to have a strong partner. So shout out to Lydia. Thanks so much for being a great wife. But yeah, we started the year off. Lydia is South African. So at the beginning of the year, late January, she shot down to South Africa to see family. We try to get her there at least every year or two. I can't remember. I think it had been a couple years. I can't remember. Maybe she'd been there the year before. But long and short of it, it had been at least a year, if not 2 years. And we thought, you know what, we definitely need to get you with your family. Your parents are getting older, and you never know how much time you have. And so we want to make sure just to get her there to visit. So we spent a few weeks apart. That took us into mid-February. She got back around then. I had a birthday. And then all of April and all of May, I spent away. There was a pro-life group that helps women have their babies up in New York that was firebombed by Antifa all around this Supreme Court decision, et cetera. And they were looking for some help. They needed some kind of temporary executive support. So I came in as an interim chief operating officer, helped stabilize the organization. They've been under extreme growth and at the same time extreme pressure. New York State is just a horrible, horrible place if you are conservative, pro-life, et cetera. And so I jumped in there, helped with that, created some strategy, helped to develop pathways forward, and even bring some people on board that could help the organization continue to do its mission and to grow. And so that was great, but that was 60 days away from home. I mean, I saw Lydia probably 3 days out of the 2 whole months, and that was kind of tough. Got back home, had a little bit of I say a little bit, we had kind of a big family challenge, I'll say. I mean, Lydia and I were fine, but we had a bit of a family challenge that we had to deal with that absorbed a lot of thought and emotion for a month or two. And then the craziest of craziest things happened. And some of you already know. It's like I'm laughing even thinking about it. Some of you already know this, but I was approached, I want to say on like August 8th. Someone had reached out a few times in Charleston saying, hey, city council race is happening. Your district, the seat's going to be open. There's some Democrats running running for that seat, but there are no conservatives. Would you be interested? And I just kept saying no. And this was like, somebody would call or email or text Lydia and say, would your husband be interested? I say, tell him I'm too busy, because I'm too busy with client work. And they kept asking. So on August 8th, I said, well, I set up an appointment to sit down and have coffee with this individual and learn a little bit more, to be out of courtesy. It's like they keep asking, let me sit down. Well, of course, coming out of that meeting, I felt like I need to do this. And Lydia and I got together and talked about it. She was like, because she's helped on some political campaigns, door knocking and that type of thing. And she's like, the amount of work, I think she was just dreading the amount of work. But we both came away knowing, like, we need to do this. This is a door that's opening. And so the next day, August 9th, I went down to City Hall in Charleston, South Carolina, a city founded in the 1600s, and filled out a form and wrote a check for $150. And I was officially a candidate for Charleston City Council, West Ashley District 9. So it was me versus 4 guys. And from August 9th all the way up to the election in early November, it was almost like a full-time job. I knocked on 2,000 doors, spoke to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of my neighbors in my district. We raised over $26,000, gave speeches all over the city. It was just quite an amazing experience. Got to meet a lot of wonderful people. In this election, it's a nonpartisan. You don't get to run on party, although I was the only Republican/conservative. Charleston has been run by Democrats since 1877. A lot of people don't know that. But it was an opportunity for conservatives to get a bigger voice in the city governance. And there was a need. I mean, the city government's been mismanaged. Let's just say the city's been mismanaged by the existing outgoing mayor. Long and short of it, we made it to a runoff. In this election, you couldn't run by a minor majority. You had to win 50% plus one vote. And out of the 5 of us, me and this other fella who's part of a political family here got to the runoff. I was number 2. And so then we had 2 more weeks of campaigning and door knocking and just all the stuff that goes on. And it's amazing for city council. There was dirty politics. There was it was funny because we've only lived here 2 years. I was already on local television, my picture, my name, don't vote for this guy, he's a villain. The current mayor, the outgoing mayor, was trying to protect his position and trying to use me as like a foil. He's an outsider. We got to protect our city, and you got to reelect me to keep us safe and all that kind of stuff. So I was quite proud of myself because I went from a 0 to a citywide villain in just 2 years. I thought that was quite an accomplishment. But anyway, got to the runoff election after 2 weeks, and we did not prevail. I did not win. We did really well. I mean, you'd have to know Deep South politics and just culture to understand that for someone from New York to come in, only be here 2 years, not have any network, not know anyone, not be known, and to be able to get in the runoff over 1,000 votes, whereas my competitor got 1,800. I mean, he won handily. There's no question there. But at the same time, to be able to punch as hard as we did is remarkable. And it says something, I think, about how we ran our campaign. I think the messaging and the positions that we had really resonated with people. I had a big mountain to climb, being an outsider, an unknown, et cetera, a Yankee to boot. And we entered the race, not really last minute, but kind of last minute. I mean, ideally, we would have had months more to plan, and never run a campaign before. So I am very proud of what we accomplished. Sure, disappointed that we lost. But at the same time, I think we turned some heads. I think some people are like, goodness, this is quite a result here. So would a win have been better? Of course. But that was my life from the beginning of August all the way through to the end of November. So the runoff election was on the Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. At the same time, that Thursday, the Thanksgiving Day, we put Lydia back on an airplane to go back to South Africa. It was her mother's 80th birthday that week. We had planned initially that I might go out with her before this whole campaign popped up, but we decided, let's get you out there for your mother's 80th. And so Lydia spent 3 weeks with her family, and she just got home last night. So that brings us up to December 16th as I record this. So that's been our year. It's been exhausting. It's been, I I don't even know. It's like one of these years where I feel like the year was just taken from me. I mean, we made our choices. It's not like things were done to us. I mean, some things were done to us, but this year has just been out of my hands based on things that I felt have been required of us. Moving to New York temporarily to help with this pregnancy center, running this campaign for a few months. I mean, these were opportunities we feel like God opened doors for us. And so we said, you know what, we're going to be faithful and walk through these doors. And so in some ways, we know that we did what we were supposed to do. But on another level, there's a part of me that's like, man, I don't have a lot of years left. I mean, look how gray I am. And I can't just give these years away. There's stuff I need to get done. There's things that I want to accomplish. So that was our year. And that's not a reason why I wanted to make videos, but I was too busy. I mean, I have been super busy, but there were just a number of things that we had to do this year and that we had to deal with. And they've actually been good. Coming out of those has given me quite a hunger. The last month, I would say, of the campaign, I actually spent kind of reworking my studio. You can't see most of the work that I did. I mean, behind me is just, that's my office. That's the desk I sit at and do my client work. But facing forward, which you can't see, I got a new camera. I got a whole new setup, some switcher equipment and upgraded audio. I put up some sound baffling. Hopefully my audio is a little bit better. It's not perfect in this room, but I try to get myself set up so that I can just jump in the saddle and record. So what I'm doing is putting myself in a position where I can get more content out. I've started up my podcast again, The Currency. You can find that anywhere podcasts are provided. Just look up The Currency. But I'm looking forward to doing more YouTube videos. I think, as far as content is concerned, I'm interested in doing kind of experimenting with different formats. I like these informal kinds of videos. I'd like to do some kind of commentary videos. I'd also like to explore doing some video essays. So I'm going to be doing different kinds of content over the next months and year as I try to kind of figure out what's the sweet spot for the kind of content that I both like to create and resonates with you, my audience. And the other thing that I'm going to be doing too is I'm going to be kind of focusing on a number of types of topics. Instead of saying like, hey, I'm a marketing guy, so here are my marketing videos and download my marketing course. I would like to be able to provide info products or subscription products. I would like to be able to make more of a living from doing my content, but at the same time, I'm not starting there. The classic old school marketing model is like find your target audience, your niche, and then find out what they want, and then tailor your product for them. And I'm just saying, like, you know what? I'm the niche. It's me. I'm just going to create the content that's on my heart. I'm going to pour into it the best I can, do the most creative, the most high quality work that I'm able to do, put that out there into the world. And if there are people out there that resonate with it and want more of it, fantastic. And if there are not, then okay. I mean, we make a good living. I'm happy to keep consulting, and we'll just go forward with that. So the kinds of topics, if you're curious, I still will do some brand-related stuff. I'd like to do commentary on brand. I'd like to do some commentary on kind of corporate business decisions, I think, especially as they relate to our society and culture. I'm interested in things like cultures, theology, philosophy, economics, politics. I'm also interested in things like creative problem solving, strategy, just creativity in general, human creativity. So, and then when you get into things like society and culture, I mean, these are all areas that are of interest to me. And so you'll see me probably tackling a breadth of topics. I'm just not going to anchor myself down into a narrow niche. I'm just not going to do it. And maybe down the road, as I put more content out there, I'll be able to kind of dial in over time. But I don't think I'm going to try to be anything. I'm just going to start, creating content, stuff that's of interest to me, and see where it goes. So again, I don't want to make any big grand, like, here's the new direction for my channel. It's none of that. It's probably going to be more of the same, but with more purpose, more effort, more energy, and hopefully more regularity. How about that? No more 251-day gaps between videos. Maybe it takes me a month to put a video out, but then hopefully if I do a month, it's a higher quality video essay, or maybe I'm doing them more quickly. Maybe it's a mix of high quality video essays and shoot from the hip commentary. We'll have to see. We'll figure that part out. But I'm very excited to be back. I'm really glad to be back in front of this lens, in front of the camera, in front of you. And the fact that I'm just going to take this, clean it up, and publish it, I think for me breaks through a bit of a barrier that's been in the way. It's almost like a writer's block where I've been looking at this blank page of what's my next YouTube video going to be, and I'm kind of agonizing over creating something great because it's been so long. I've got to really come back, and I do have creative vision, and this frees me up. Just putting this out there frees me up to say, okay, good, you're back in, you got content, and just start building, just start putting stuff out there and building. So do me a favor, let me know what you guys have been up to. It's been a long time. A lot of you have been phenomenal, faithful supporters, encouragers, subscribers, followers. What have you been up to? And how's your year been? Because we're wrapping this bad boy up, kids. I don't know if you know it or not, but 2023 is almost in the bag. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Love you all, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.